Hey guys, Mara's at KitchenTableStamper.com. I'm making some of my last Christmas cards here this season. I thought I'd do a video and run you through this cute little guy. Alright, today we're using Stampin' Up's Cookie Cutter Christmas and the Cookie Cutter Builder Punch, Cookie Builder Punch. They are on closeout as a bundle. They'll continue to be available, but not at the bundle price. So we're going to use the cute little reindeer from here and the sentiment that says, wishing you a season as sweet and joyful as the friendship we share. A couple of last minute Christmas things going on here. Alright, so the first thing, if you want to make this card at home, I've got some pieces and measurements for you here. You'll start with an A2 card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5 and it's early espresso. I have a piece of crumb cake cardstock. This is 4 inches by 5.25. I also have a piece of crumb cake that is 2 inches by 3.5 inches. That's for our reindeer. And then a scrap. This is an inch by about 3 inches. It's to do his little red nose and bump it up. I have a piece of real red. This is cut with the baker's box die set. It's one of the tag pieces that's in there. And you need a piece about, an 1.5 inches by 2.25 to cut that one out. This is cut with the stitched framelits or stitched shape framelits. It's the oval. That one you'll need about 1.5 inches by 2.5. And last, a piece of Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper. This one is 2.25 by 4. Okay, we'll score our card base. I've got my Simply Score tool, and I'm going to score this one at 4.25 on the landscape side. Okay. Okay, we'll crease that, get a good fold. Alright. We'll do a little stamping now. You'll need real red, and early espresso for this project. Here's our little reindeer. We're gonna start by making a background pattern on this crumb cake card. I am going to place my first little reindeer with his antlers completely off and his ear just barely off the edge. He's kind of the starting point for the pattern. Now with the clear polymer, it's pretty easy to get in there and line up the next guy. And then the third guy. Ears up, ears down, ears up, ears down. Just lining one up after the last. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Stamp right off the bottom of the page. And there's your background paper. Put that aside for a minute. Next up we need a full one. Now here's the trick. Let me show you something. With this punch, when you put the paper in, the legs are toward you. So you want to stamp with the reindeer's antlers toward you at the bottom edge of the paper. That will make it much easier when you go to punch. So stamp your little guy upside down at the bottom edge of the paper. And then when you insert into the punch, nice and easy. See what I mean? Line that up, give it a punch. And there he is, all ready. So clean up the stamp, get our little scrap, get some real red. Now we can assemble our card base. Put a little fast fuse on that reindeer pattern we made and adhere it centered on the card. Next up is our designer series paper. I'm going to trim it with some of this mini pom-pom fringe. So we can take a length of it, about 4 inches, trim it off. I like to trim the edge at kind of a bevel so that that place where we're going to add the glue is going to be all hidden. Alright, so on the bottom edge of this designer series paper, I'm going to place a thin bead of multi-purpose glue. That right there is what this glue was made to do. It's going to hold this fabric trim to this designer series paper, no problem. So we'll put the edge of that trim in that bead of glue and just press until it grabs. Now while that trim is setting up, we'll add some dimensionals to the back of this. While that adhesive is drying and that trim is staying in place, let's cut out the deer's nose. Now we'll change him from just any reindeer to Rudolph. Put on his nose with a little dimensional adhesive. What a cutie! All right. Let's place our designer series paper, and we're going to do that about 1/2 inch from the bottom. Next up is this little tag element here. What we'll do is stamp our sentiment in Early Espresso. And now we're going to emboss this red tag. Here I've got my Big Shot with the platform and one cutting pad. I've also got the textured impressions, the cable knit folder. I'm going to drop my little tag in the folder on the platform, cover with the cutting pad, and run it through. Look at all that beautiful cozy texture there. Love it. Love this folder. All right, let's get this card assembled, shall we? All right, what we'd like to do is on the back side of this textured piece, we're going to add a little fast fuse. That fast fuse will help that textured area grab. On the top, we're going to add a dimensional because this tag is going to hang off of this layer that's lifted with dimensionals. So, going to place the tag element. You notice that I kept the sentiment there so I can make sure that it wasn't going to run off the edge of the card. Add some dimensionals to that. And center it on the tag. Then our little reindeer, now he is going to need 1 dimensional on his head and 2 on his antlers. We want this layer to be double thick. To compensate for one thickness here of the designer paper and one thickness of the deer's head. So add that little guy. Now last touches, I have a tiny bit of red and white polka dot ribbon and a brown button threaded with some linen twine or linen thread, and there we go. Isn't that a cute card? Pretty quick and easy too. All right, if you've got any questions about this tutorial, just shoot me an email, marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.